Thank you so much. We really appreciate your patience, and what a terrific night of fights tonight. The PFL once again delivered. World-class organization, and of course we want to start off by thanking the greatest fighters in the world for putting on an unbelievable performance tonight. And of course we thank our great partner ESPN, the Seminole Hard Rock, and so many others. Tremendous hype leading up to this event. Of course, a lot of eyes on our heavyweights, and then the return of Kayla Harrison and Taylor Guardado, who really showed up tonight as she always does. But the media has just been tremendous. We want to thank the media, especially right here in South Florida. The great Miami Herald was here with our good friend Jim Varsalone, and you know it's a big fight night when he's in town, the greatest. So really, once again, thank you to everybody. And what we're looking at in the championship on October 27th is going to be a heavyweight for the $1 million prize, heavyweight fight. Bruno Cappelozza, who had just an unbelievable fight. He's still talking to his family. They were watching him intensely tonight. And he'll be taking on Ante D'Elia, who, as always, knockout power, tremendous control, and he just really showed up, and he did what he always does, and really impressive tonight, man, really impressive. And then of course we're gonna have our other championship bout with the one and only, at this point, without question, the baddest fighter on the planet, Kayla Harrison, truly dominant tonight, and she'll be taking on Taylor Guardado, who as I said before, is just really unbelievable. So thank you again for another incredible night. I know we have a lot of media with a ton of questions, and I do want to hand it over to the one and only combat sports legend, best in the business without question, President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo.
Hey guys, thank you for being here. I mean, what another great night, like Lauren said. Now we have our finalists, as you see here tonight. I mean, listen, Kayla's a beast, and she did what she did tonight. Bruno came out, did what he had to do. Ante, I gotta give him props because, he lost his last fight, but tonight he came in here and he dug deep because he really wanted to get to the finals, and I thought he did a great job, and so congrats to Ante for making the finals. Of course, Taylor is, another story where, just like Raush, she came in as an alternate, and she's going to the finals. How amazing is that? So I'm super proud of her and super happy for her. That being said, another great night. 2 down, 1 to go. But congratulations to all the finalists tonight. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you to everybody that supports PFL and our fighters. We appreciate you guys. And on that, we'll hand it over for questions.
First of all, congratulations to all the fighters tonight on your victories. Kayla, got to start with you. That post-fight interview, amazing, first of all. Did you get any tips from Dan Lambert? He broke that interview, that promo at AEW. Did he give you any tips?
I told you guys, I write Dan Lambert's promos, okay? I say, da-da-da-da-da, insert stupid wrestling name here, da-da-da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Dan Lambert doesn't know how to write a promo, okay? He knows how to eat food. Have you seen the guy?
Thank you. And the other day, you told me the kids, it's school night. Do you want them to be here one day to see their mom in the cage get a victory?
Maybe one day, yeah. Who knows? Maybe one day. Probably when they're 30. Just kidding. I'll be retired.
And for Ante, how important was it for you to have Mirko Cro Cop in your corner?
Ante, koliko je bilo važno za tebe imati Mirka Cro Capa u tvom kantunu?
Pa Mirko je čovjek koji vjeruje u mene od prvoga dana i daje mi dodatnu snagu. Da vjerovatno njega nije bilo tu, ne znam kako bi završio ovaj meč. Eto, hvala mu na svemu.
Mirko Cro Cop was with me from the first day, and he's giving me extra power and extra energy, and without him I wouldn't be here where I am right now. Thank you, Mirko.
And for Taylor, you got emotional, of course, after that victory. Can you explain, training at Extreme Couture with Eric Nixick in your corner and how important that team is to you?
Yeah, I mean, they're my family. It's not just my team. I brought out my 3 head coaches, Dennis, Eric, and Nate. They know me best, and they get in my head better than anyone else can, better than I do, which is probably a good thing. I mean, I can't be more grateful than I am for them and for this opportunity.
And last one for Bruno. After you got past the wrestling pedigree of Jamel, did you feel that it was your fight to win?
Bruno, uma vez que você já tinha, enfim, cantado o jogo ali do wrestling do Jamel, você já sabia que a vitória era sua?
Bom, treinei muito, ando treinando com um dos melhores aí wrestling da minha categoria, então estava muito bem preparado. Depois que frustrei as entradas dele de queda ali, sabia que uma hora minha mão ia entrar e eu ia conseguir finalizar a luta. Graças a Deus.
I trained a lot of wrestling. I trained with some of the best heavyweight wrestlers in the game. And once I was able to stuff his first 2 or 3 takedowns, I knew that once a heavy hand of mine had landed, he was going to go down.
Jonathan Ramlakan, 5 Reasons Sports. This one's for Ante. You had the crowd in your corner tonight. How did that support help fuel your performance?
Ante, ti si večeras imao puno svojih obožavatelja u tvom kantunu. Kako je to poboljšalo tvoj performans večeras?
To mi je velika motivacija, jako sam sretan što ste bili tu i u finalu će još biti puno više ljudi, tako da očekujte me najboljem izdanju.
This was great motivation for me and great support. I appreciate it, and in the finals we're going to have a lot more fans coming. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And for Kayla, should you win the championship this year, you'll be a 2-time PFL. When you like that visualization, I love it. When you win the championship this year, you'll be a 2-time PFL champion, a multiple-time gold medalist, and you'll still be undefeated. How do you continue to stay motivated given all your success?
I think the older you get, the more you learn that gold objects aren't really the motivation. It's not about the shiny gold belt. It's not about the shiny gold medal. It's not about being undefeated. It's really all about the journey and where I've been along the way, who I've met, the obstacles I've overcome, the things that I've gone through and persevered through. They've all led to beautiful moments for me, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and they've made me who I am today, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So that's what motivates me, to continue to live life to the absolute fullest, live each day as if it's my last.
Awesome. Thank you. And last one, you did call out Israel Adesanya after the fight. When should we expect that fight to happen, and what happens in that fight?
I'm just kidding, Izzy. He seems like a nice guy. But, I mean, I would take him down, just to be clear.
Zachary Grady, USA Today. Kayla, I guess just to follow up on that, we know Taylor Guardado is next on your calendar, October 27th here, but Clarissa Shields and Amanda Nunes were both in the building here scouting you. If given the choice, who would you...
Scouting me or cheering me on? Because they're both kind of my friends.
A little bit of both probably, but if given the choice, who would you like to see next in the cage at the end of this PFL season?
My focus is on Taylor Guardado. She's the person I have to fight next. She's more than worthy opponent, and my focus is on her. Whatever happens next, happens next. But right now, I have one job to do, and that's go win another belt.
And then just to follow up with Ray Sefo, you have some amazing talent here in the 155-pound division for the women. What are the chances that we see a couple more women's divisions added to the PFL in the future?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, those have been discussions. There is a possibility. Right now, that hasn't been finalized yet, but yeah, 100%. Those are under discussions right now. But again, tonight, I got to give a shout out to Amanda Levy, who her debut was tonight. And I was impressed with her composure. I was impressed with when she got tagged. Right away, she scrambled, took the girl down, and ended up submitting the girl. I mean, that was impressive to me. And so when you see that kind of talent continue to climb the ladder, it's the future of the women's MMA is just getting bigger and bigger.
And last question for Kayla. Just tweeted right now, Christine Cyborg just said, I could make 155 pounds. What's your response to that?
We know she can make 155 pounds. Congratulations. Do you want a participation trophy? You can make it, but you can't beat me.
My first question is for Lauren. Lauren, you've now hosted 2 very successful PFL events at the Hard Rock. What can we expect to see between the Hard Rock and the PFL going forward?
So thanks for that question. Well, first, we have our big event coming up next week, and that's August 27th. That's going to finalize our championship, and we'll be back at the Hard Rock on October 27th. And I can tell you, tonight was an unbelievable night. I mean, we had the who's who of combat sports, entertainment, all in one arena, and they're coming to check out the PFL. They're coming to check out the greatest fighters in the world, and they're coming to check out the best broadcast and production in the world as well. So very quickly, everybody's catching on that, the PFL has just shot up in stratospheric levels. And the Hard Rock's the greatest resort and casino in all of Florida, without question, and we love to be here. And, we look forward to next week. More action, more excitement. Don't forget, you win and you advance, you lose and you go home, and every single fight matters. That's why you saw the intensity in the cage that you did today, because every fight matters, and you felt it in the arena. So we're excited to be back next week. Of course, the championship, October 27th. Somebody mentioned it. Clarissa Shields will be here. The GOAT, one of the greatest of all time, the baddest fighter on the planet, Kayla Harrison, will be here. So unbelievable partnership. It works extremely well, and we're very excited about it.
Thank you. And Kayla, you are one of the best female athletes out there. What do you hope little girls take away as they watch you doing something you're so passionate about?
I want them to live fearless. I want them to wake up every day and know that they can do anything they set their minds to. Absolutely anything. I don't care if it's fighting in a cage. I don't care if it's being a rocket scientist. I don't care if it's being president of the United States. You can accomplish anything you want to. And you know what the secret formula is? It's just hard work. It's hard work and finding what you love and spending every single day following that passion. So I can do it. You can do it. Live fearless.
Jim Barcelona, Miami Herald. For Kayla, what is it like for you? Because in judo, you were ultra successful there, and you were the face of judo, being a champion like that. Judo doesn't get the recognition like MMA. Now you're the face of PFL MMA. What has it been like being the face there in judo, but now being the face of something even bigger?
Well, I think it's, it's definitely different. I was getting yelled at in the back, we're waiting for you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, we didn't have a press conference after I won a judo tournament, nobody cared what I did. I just walked off the mat, got the gold medal, and then went and had nachos. So there's a little more hustle and bustle, and people care if you show emotion, and people care what you say, care what you think. You can't cry after a fight that you win, because God forbid you show emotion. So just learning to deal with all of that and be comfortable in front of a camera, be comfortable being who I am, being true to myself in front of a camera, and realizing that I am not only representing the PFL, representing myself, but I'm representing females. I'm representing everything that I want to accomplish in this world. I'm trying to represent how I want my daughter to live her life, and trying to do it in the best way I possibly can.
Will you be having nachos later?
We're already on the hunt.
And then lastly, for Ray, I know you guys, and Lauren touched about being here in South Florida, but this is amazing tonight because there were a lot of VIPs and fighters and maybe future fighters for PFL. There was a big crowd tonight. What is it going to be like in October when fans are going to be here? And what are your thoughts of being in this facility in this area for fighting?
Well, first of all, this place is amazing. And we love it here. For the championship, this place is going to be sold out. That's without a doubt. And to what Lauren said earlier, we had kickboxing world champions, we had MMA world champions, we had, who's who here. A big shout out to Mirko Krokop, another legend in the sport. But yeah, we had who's who here, and I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger. Again, I think October 27th for the championship is going to be sold out for sure.
James Walker from 5 Rounds MMA. Bruno, those were some of the loudest leg kicks that we've heard in person. How effective was that technique for you in ultimately getting the finish?
Bruno, esses foram alguns dos chutes mais altos que a gente pôde ouvir aqui no público. Quão efetivo foi essa técnica para você?
Bom, é dos meus carros-chefes aí, meus chutes. Então, tô muito feliz aí. Não sei nem o que falar.
It's one of the main tools in my toolbox. I'm extremely happy. I honestly don't know what to say.
And also, question for Taylor. You touched on this a little bit earlier, but can you just kind of go through the roller coaster week that you've had leading up to this fight?
Yeah, my mom has cancer, and we all knew that, and we knew it kind of it spread a little bit, so she had to get a surgery. It ended up being a very, very serious surgery, more than serious than what we had hoped for. So she's been in the hospital for the past 5-ish days or so, and I've just been a mental wreck, essentially, which I am all the time anyway, so that doesn't help. But yeah, it's just been a roller coaster of a week, but I've tried to use that, and then just thinking of my son and my husband and people that I don't want to let down, and just getting the job done. And it worked. I have to call my mom still, but they sent me a little selfie of her being all excited. So I'm happy with my results, and I know I've got to come harder October 27th. Oh.
All good? All right, Ronald Smith from Zoom.
This is Ronald E. Smith from Getting Real. My question is for Bruno. After your performance today, it was so easy to see how emotional you got through the cage about this victory, and you weren't shy about thanking Ray for putting all this for you. So just talk about what that meant for you, and also the journey that you were taking 3 years to get to this moment.
Bruno, falar pouco aí de você, da emoção que foi essa luta, você claramente emotivo dentro do cage, agradecendo o Rei Cefo. Falar pouco aí de como você está se sentindo com essa oportunidade.
Bom, foram 3 anos muito difíceis da minha vida aí, que eu não conseguia luta, lesões. Antes de entrar também eu vi minha família ali pela TV, então fiquei muito emocionado. Então essa emoção é por causa disso. Ando muito feliz também, porque ando treinando com o Rei Cefo, ele anda deixando aí meu Muay Thai afiado cada vez mais. Só tenho a agradecer ao Rei Cefo. E é isso aí, vamos para a final, estou feliz demais.
I couldn't be happier. I got emotional and carried away when I saw my family up on the screen. It was a unique feeling. Like I said, I keep repeating myself. I'm extremely happy. Shout out to Ray Cefo for sharpening my Muay Thai and getting me ready during this fight camp. Yeah.
And my last question is for Taylor. Now that you are going to the finals to face Kayla, what do you think is going to be the way for you to get the W and win it all?
I think I'm just going to have to be tenacious, gritty, and smart. I think that's what it comes down to, making very smart decisions, but implementing my game plan at the same time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Last question, Gabriel Gonzalez, Zoom, please.
Hi, question for Kayla. Kayla, I know you're getting a ton of questions, obviously, about the future, what's next, etc. And you reiterated you are completely focused on Taylor. Can you talk about, as a competitor, how do you tune out that level of noise? Because I know everyone's already asking about everything else besides her.
Well, I would say in the past year, after having a 2-year-old and trying to do interviews or talk on the phone and having someone scream, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy," in your ear has really, it's really made my tune-out game strong. So I can tune anything out.
And then my final question for Ante. Obviously, you had the fight with Bruno earlier in the season. Can you just talk a little bit about the lessons you took from that, and how you want to change everything going into the rematch.
Ante, posljednje pitanje za tebe. Ti si prije imao meč sa Brunom i htjeli bi vidjeti kakva je tvoja sljedeća strategija i je li si naučio nekakve lekcije od toga i kako ćeš se postaviti u sljedećoj utakmici.
Naučio sam puno iz tega meča, to mi je velika lekcija. Mislim da ovaj meč će biti totalno druga priča i mislim da bi se i Bruno složio da bude to 1-1.
That was a great lesson for me. I learned a lot from that fight, and I'm gonna do some changes in the future, and the next fight is gonna be a lot different, and I think I'm gonna do way better.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. I thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your love and support.
Can I just say something really quick?
Pass it over to Kayla.
No, Ella French's funeral was today. I don't know if any of you guys know who that is, but I just want her family and her loved ones to know that my thoughts and prayers are with them, and I'm thinking of all of them.
And on that, thank you so much, everybody. See you next week.